Welcome to Far Beyond, where we try to understand what is going on by comparing current events with relevant Christian prophecies for our time. Well, patriots are wondering, is President Trump going to take action against the deep state actors? Is he going to be able to secure the election by proving the massive fraud? Is he going to take action against the coup plotters, the traitors? Is he going to secure and save the republic and deconstruct the New World Order and stop the Great Reset? In other words, save the world. Sounds like a mighty big task, but I assure you that since Donald Trump is the great monarch, the one who was promised for centuries ago in Catholic prophecies, too numerous to count, it is certainly within his purview and is part of his job description. World leader? Well, I can't tell you how many posts, how many letters, how many videos, and how many conversations I've had online with people who are very much concerned with what is going on in our political state at this time. And they all end up by saying they're cheering for the American patriots, they're praying for us every day, because if America doesn't make it, then we are all done. This is something that the role of the great monarch would certainly encompass, the kind of charisma and charismatic personality that draws the whole world together. The rallies, the parades, the demonstrations worldwide. The latest one from Taiwan was stunning. And when patriots gather on January 6th in D.C., there will be a Million MAGA march in Northern Ireland to show support for us. So now, will President Trump take dramatic action to save the republic? And if so, when? I know that he has tweeted out a couple of days ago, martial law equals fake news. But regardless of the legal terminology, will he take dramatic action against those who are in positions of power but have sold us out to China and seek the very destruction of America? I told a friend last Sunday that I believed so, and I thought it highly likely to be on December 24th to the 25th. Why? Because the military back channel, which posted breadcrumbs of intel for patriots for 3 years, and I call them the Key Team or Key 17 team because certain words and letters are not allowed to be mentioned on all platforms. But anyway, in the first year of receiving these breadcrumbs on December 24th, the only post was a picture of George Washington crossing the Delaware. And then Key Team went silent for 10 days. This was our Christmas present. Following year, we got the same picture for Christmas. It was also posted from a DoD server. President Trump loves his American history and certainly loves the story of Washington crossing the Delaware, since President Trump is part of the Key Team. He wanted to draw our attention again for a second year in a row to this particular part of American history. And if he likes the story of crossing the Delaware, and again, when he had a rally in Trenton, New Jersey, he told the crowd about the historical event. So he certainly is familiar with the vision of George Washington, since it is a big part of the story. Now, if you are not familiar with it, I've done a video on it before, but just go search for it. The Vision of George Washington, Valley Forge, 1777. The best site is www.civil-liberties.com. Don't worry if you come across Snopes who say it's fabricated. They also think God is just a rumor. Washington was given a vision of 3 perils that would endanger the very existence of the Republic. The first was the Revolutionary War, because if they didn't win it, there was no Republic. And of course, George Washington was the president during that, or actually right after, but he was the man who led us through that. The second peril was the Civil War, and of course, Lincoln was president during that time. Now, if you go and read this vision, you'll see that you won't have to stretch your imagination too far to recognize that we are in the third peril. I remember reading this years ago and wondering at how bad it would be someday. Well, that someday is here. And surely Trump recognizes it too, and realizes that this peril is one that must be met by him. People on the boards keep telling Trump to cross the Rubicon. Well, 1, I don't like the tone of some of them yelling at our president. And 2, I feel the Delaware crossing is much more apropos. After all, Caesar crossed the Rubicon, alia jacta est, to his death. And he also only had 1 Brutus. How many Brutuses has our beloved POTUS had? So I really felt that something big was coming, and my guess was December 24th to the 25th. I didn't think we'd get another picture of the crossing of the Delaware, but I sensed that maybe, or my best guess, we would get something that the picture of the crossing of the Delaware symbolized. So let's think about that a moment. Also, I feel that Trump loves this part of American history so much, and I believe it speaks to him mystically. After all, Washington was at the end of his rope. There was no support from the Continental Congress. His few friends had turned on him. And then he gets guidance from God, which propels him forward to victory. God had quite a sense of humor, because he knew that the Hessians, being European, would celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, and that they would be too drunk Christmas Day morning to fight anybody. So, yes, God provided the vision plus the military strategy. Though the Hessians were an elite fighting force, our soldiers were able to take them down. It was a massacre, the turning point of the Revolutionary War. Washington was praised, the Continental Congress opened its purse strings, and everything turned around. So this was my best guess for the reasons I stated. But this situation is so volatile, it changes day by day, even sometimes hourly. Monday, December 14th, news broke that all our government websites were hacked, especially the Pentagon. A cyber warfare attack. So let's see, this starts with ballots on the tables and being delivered in trucks. Then votes go to Germany. Then Dominion voting machines were, crooked. Then SolarWinds, now a hacked Pentagon. Do we ever get to the bottom of this rabbit hole? Nukes hacked, disarmed, who knows at this point. Then Friday, December 18th, the DNI report. It was supposed to be due that day. We find out it's going to be delayed. More foot dragging, more obfuscation, more obstacles. Of course, DNI Radcliffe is a patriot, so he manages to get word out on Maria Bartiromo's show. Yes, Trump won. Yes, there was foreign interference. But yet no official report from the other 17 intel agencies. More internal revolt, keeping Trump from having any backing, hopefully to prevent him from taking action. Then late Friday, 4.5 hours meeting in the White House. Lawyers were very disrespectful to POTUS, pressing him to concede. Jenna Ellis cautions him against the Insurrection Act. Luckily, Patrick Byrne, CEO of Overstock.com, gave an account of the meeting. Should we trust it? Yes, because Tracy Beanz interviewed him, and she is one of the surrogates that the Key 17 team leader, you know what I mean. There are certain letters of the alphabet that we just can't mention on some platforms. Yeah, that one. Okay, so I simply refer to him as Key 17. Anyway, the Key team leader, General Flynn, head of the digital soldiers, has directed us often, or twice before anyway, to listen to Tracy Beanz. So now, who knows what will happen next and when? Well, Patrick Byrne gave us a fly-on-the-wall insight. It must have been bad with everyone pressuring Trump to concede. Apparently, only Flynn supported him. And then we also know it was a very important and disturbing meeting for our president because at 1:42 a.m., he tweeted, calling for his great extended family of patriots to come to D.C. on January 6th. Sounds like an invitation to a party. Quote, be there. It will be wild. End quote. Patriots responded in grand fashion. The TDW site still has a stickied response up from that morning. Quote, Daddy wants us to come to D.C. January 6th. End quote. And believe me, the Patriots are moving on this, organizing caravans and buying their plane tickets and gathering together and renting hotel and motel rooms. Well, let's hope there is something to celebrate. Trump is under constant barrage to give up. It's almost as if China's offered a reward to whoever can get him to concede. Trump ended up firing his lawyer, Cipollone, and there was almost you might say, a physical fight. Trump made the comment that he doesn't think there was ever a meeting like this in the Oval Office in the 200 years of our nation. Plus, we now know that Sidney Powell has been blocked from speaking to the president or seeing him. Apparently, she is an antidote against the forces of evil and a strong support for him to withstand the demonic assault. How is it that people turn against him so quickly, like Mark Meadows? Well, it's demonic infestation. You think COVID is contagious? Look at Pat Robertson. A month ago, he gave a interview to Newsweek magazine. He was very positive and upbeat about President Trump, quote, stating that God will work a miracle, end quote. Now, he's flipped. He states that Trump is living in an alternative reality, and your time has passed. You need to leave, end quote. Sounds like he's as bad as the Pope. Well, maybe not. Let's see what could happen on January 6th. If Pence and the Senate do the right thing, then our beloved president will finally have some way of certifying that he is the official winner of the 2020 election, which we know, which the whole world knows. But you know our dear POTUS, he loves to do everything by the law, officially, and by the Constitution. Then the Patriots will certainly have something to celebrate. However, come January 21st, after the inauguration, it will be business as usual with the same old crooks and traitors still in power. Now, it is not looking good for him to be making a move against them at this time, except for one thing. After this December 18th White House meeting, which was very disturbing and disruptive, thanks to Patrick Byrne for giving us the most insider information we'll ever probably be privy to, we know that Trump wanted Sidney Powell as special prosecutor, and that's what caused the fireworks. She has now been blocked. Mark Meadows has refused to give her office space in the White House. I guess she's supposed to go somewhere else and rent an office. But this is typical because the demonic infestation is extremely powerful. To stand against it, one cannot show doubt, fear, or have unrepented sins. Those are three very main ways of becoming infested. And then you're blinded, and you will see a person just flip like Pat Robertson. Probably got offered a couple million, and the greed just flipped him. And of course, now he is on the other side. So we find out that she's been blocked. They're controlling the president. They're controlling the White House. So let's just run this by. If on January 6th there is good news and something to celebrate, that will be fabulous. If our president actually doesn't get stabbed in the back, and dear Lord, please don't let him be betrayed yet another time. However, if it happens that he does get certified, you may think you've seen demonic manifestation. I mean, we've seen horrible things in this country. But let me remind you that you haven't yet seen Pelosi or Mitch McConnell's head spinning in a circle like Linda Blair's in the movie The Exorcist. So believe me, we have not seen the height yet of the manifestation of demonic activity. But if he does get certified, they are going to go insane. They might try to make a move on him. After all, Maxine Waters said yesterday, I want to see him physically dragged from the White House by the military. Will this be what they do when they go absolutely insane? In case of that, it is a double good reason for having the patriots there en masse. And I think from what I've been reading, the posts, especially on the Donald.win, I think most of the patriots realize they're there for a party, but if trouble starts, they will protect their president. Well, we'll have to go through this anticipation anxiety and wait it out. Talk to you again.